Yo, Andrew here. So today we're talking about Barbie. That's if you're gonna go see it in cinemas. Let's do this. Okay, so this film was brilliantly directed by Greta Gerwig, starring Margot Robbie as Barbie and Ryan Gosling as Ken. So here's the plot of this film. Barbie is beginning to lose her Barbiness. She's beginning to fail at almost everything and life isn't going as smooth as she wants it to go. She realizes that there's a possibility that someone in the real world is going through some things whilst playing with her Barbie doll. So she decides she's gonna go to the real world and figure things out before things get any worse. So in typical fashion, Ken follows her. Ken follows her because he is nothing without Barbie. So he thinks. He gets over to the real world and he realizes that the real world is a total opposite of Barbie land and decides that he might take a few ideas from the real world and bring it back to Barbie land. That's pretty much the entire plot of this film. Okay, so in typical fashion, I'm going to do the cons, then I'm going to do the pros. In this film, I do have more pros than I do have cons, so stick around for those. Okay, so con number one, and I think the only con I actually have about this film is that it's a bit man-hating. It's a bit girl powery. Now, of course, I would say that because I'm a man, but I feel as though we can write films that are absolutely for women without having to put men down whilst doing it. The film still works absolutely fine. The only reason why I even care about this is because they, went down a realistic route, and I feel like statistically some of the issues brought up are inaccurate, but then again, it's just a movie. But it is a little man-hating, just a small amount. A little, could make you just feel a little bit like, but it's just Barbie doing Barbie things. But I understand that the main audience of this film is mostly women, so girl power. Okay, so pro number one, I actually really enjoyed this film. Contrary to what I said in the cons, this movie is a lot of fun. I really had a lot of fun watching it. I think it's quite brilliant. Okay, so pro number two, I feel this film was well written. From A to Z, it was well written. They covered from conflict all the way to resolution, and it's quite an easy story to follow along. It's not overly complicated, and it doesn't take itself excessively seriously, but it does when it's doing some of the other girl power stuff. But it's expected because I think the main audience of this film is probably mostly women. And pro number three, Margot Robbie is a specimen of a human being. She hit Genetic Jackpot. So, she's good to see. Pro number four. Now, I think it was a fantastic idea that Ryan Gosling was cast as Ken, because if he wasn't, this film, I don't think would have worked as well as I predict it's going to work quite well because the marketing team did a great job. Ryan Gosling in this film is fantastic. He's hilarious. He found a way to make this character not so serious and also still believable and well-grounded. I don't know how he did that, but he's a serious actor and it's just good to see him in this other not so serious role and him having fun with it. Not to mention his on-screen charisma and chemistry with everyone just seems to gel very well. So I really I feel like he stole the show of this film, even though there's a whole specimen of Margot Robbie over there. Ryan Gosling he's a specimen too. He's fantastic. The dude's hot. Pro number five. I feel that the movie has this whole environment that is set around, it's a fake universe of fake things, because obviously it's supposed to look like, a toy, the kid's toy. But somehow they managed to find a way, or Greta Gerwig managed to find a way to tell a grounded story in this fake world. Like, they took us as an audience on the ride for this film, so we didn't feel left out or, dumb or maybe excessive. You understand this is satire. I think a lot of people didn't know this movie was going to be a satirical thing about Barbie. They probably thought it was going to be a kid's movie, but it's really not. So I commend her for being able to make this film actually pretty good. Okay, so my thoughts on this film. I thought this film was going to be for kids, or maybe just basically specifically about the Barbie toy, but I was pleasantly surprised that it was nothing like that. It was actually, Greta Gerwig found a way to do satire and realism and somehow intertwine into something cohesive and absolutely hilarious. Even if you're a man's man or a dude's dude, you would absolutely enjoy this film. Absolutely, it's probably a huge call, but you will get a kick out of this film because it's actually quite funny, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. But even though it has some little man-hating stuff in there, you're still gonna have a lot of fun watching this film. Okay, so I'm gonna rate this movie a 9 out of 10. Greta Gerwig did an amazing job with the source material, which is basically just toys. So I'm pretty impressed, and I had a lot of fun watching this film, so you might too. And that's my 2 cents. Have you seen this movie? And if you've seen this movie, what were your thoughts on it? Also, do you agree with my ratings of 9 out of 10? Let us know in the comments. Please like and subscribe if you found any value in this video. Or not, I'll see you in the next video.